How I Met Your Mother, the 9-year CBS comedy that ended with a what the fuck. How I Met Your Mother is a CBS comedy that ran from 2005 to 2014. I thought the show was fun. It was a little eye-rollingly sentimental at times. The show felt like it really liked to hammer in points, you know, like, okay, I get it, you don't have to say it 50 fucking times, but I get it. It's a nice show. It felt more realistic to actual relationships. And compared to every other CBS comedy, it was a step up for them. It was good. The problem I ran into, and I think most fans ran into this too, is that the series went on, this show just kind of lost its steam. When you see Ted whine and complain for 9 seasons about how lonely and depressed he is and how every relationship doesn't work, yeah, that's okay in the first few seasons when you have vibrant, fun characters like Marshall and Lily or Barney. But as the show goes on, Marshall and Lily have a child, they settle into suburban life, and Barney has a character arc where he starts going from this misogynistic asshole who lies to women to pick them up and have sex with them, and he tries to develop into more of a stable person. Now, while those make sense for how your life transitions from your early 20s into adulthood, it doesn't make for a really good TV sitcom. The show took too long to get whatever point it was trying to make, and when you got to it, you're just like, yeah, okay, I've been waiting for this for like 3 seasons now. I don't care anymore. I just want Ted's whining to stop. Which brings me to this episode. Why the How I Met Your Mother ending changed the meaning of the entire show. Quick recap for those of you who might have blocked the finale out of your mind, and if you haven't watched the finale or haven't watched How I Met Your Mother, I don't know why you clicked this episode. There's gonna be spoilers. I can't help you with that stuff. So yeah, there are spoilers in this episode. I'm gonna recap the finale, gonna do it real quick. It was horrible. Keep that in mind right there. Ted meets Tracy, the mother, on the train platform in the rain. They hit it off immediately. We go flash forward to 2020. Barney and Robin, who just got married after an entire season, break up. Now they're divorced. It's been like, we're not even halfway through the finale yet. Yeah, I would have been fine if this relationship didn't work out. It makes sense that it didn't work out. His entire way of getting her to marry him was a lie in and of itself. Right after the divorce, Barney goes right back to the person he was at the beginning of the series. So, 9 seasons of development, boop, gone. Just completely gone. He's back to being this lying misogynist asshole who just parties and lies to women to have sex with them. Until 5 minutes later, he got a girl pregnant, and now he has a baby. Oh, look, I have a baby. My life has changed now, even though I still don't know the mother's name. She's still just a number to me. Now, all that was annoying. It never changed the meaning of the show. To get to that point, let's rewind the clock, go back to the first season. In the first season, you see Ted's romancing of Robin. And what he does to win her heart is he goes and steals the blue French horn. Rain, make out, the whole thing really sweeps her off her feet. And Ted probably saw this from some sort of rom-com movie where he's like, yeah, that's what I should do. That'll sweep her right off her feet. That'll get me the girl of my dreams. And it works. It starts the relationship off. But when they get further into it, they realize they both want different things out of life. And that's something they can't reconcile. So they break up. They fall apart. That's what happens. But you see throughout the series that he keeps repeating this. He keeps falling in love with girls, performing these grand sweeping gestures, and they keep breaking up. From this reason or that reason, the relationships don't work out. But the one relationship he has in the show where he doesn't do this is his relationship with Tracy. They don't meet through any grand sweeping gesture, he just meets her at a train station. He recognizes the umbrella, sees she's a cute girl, and goes to talk to her. They start a relationship and they fall in love. With Tracy, Ted doesn't have to do all of this stuff to impress her and make her fall in love. To me, this is what the series had always built to, is the story of a man who thought love is what you see in TV and movies. Big sweeping gestures, run into the wedding, convince the girl not to marry him, marry you, that kind of bullshit stuff. And it's his journey through life, trying all these things out, and they're failing over and over again. But it's not until he does something the way real relationships are built, which I can't say how every relationship is built, but most relationships start where you're friends, you hit it off, you have a nice conversation, and it just slowly builds. That's a normal relationship. That's how the majority of relationships start. It teaches that love isn't about the big things, it's about the small things. It's not about the big, grand, sweeping gestures of stealing a blue French horn. It's about the small things like a yellow umbrella and the initials carved into it. It's the small things that matter. But then it reveals that Tracy's been dead for 6 years, And that this story that Ted is telling isn't because he wants to pass on his knowledge of what happened in his life. That may have been a side thing. But the real reason he's telling the kids is because he wants to get back together with Robin. It wasn't to teach his kids about the trials and tribulations of falling in love and understanding what love is. It was about, hey, I want to convince you guys. I really want to sell you guys. I want to bang Robin again, so is that okay? Ted's true reason for telling this entire story wasn't about teaching his kids a lesson. It was about convincing them that it's okay for him to date a family friend. And the kids are like, oh yeah, we love our Aunt Robin. Go bang her. Just go give it to her like, That's a quote. That's a quote from the show. But then Ted goes out and steals the blue French horn, goes and stands outside that window and recreates the scene from season 1. Meaning that Ted has in actuality learned nothing. He's still trying to perform these grand sweeping gestures. He still doesn't understand why his only relationship that lasted so long worked. He didn't learn anything. The show changes from the show about the struggle to find love and understand what love is to another sitcom with a twist ending. Congratulations. At that point, they throw out any deeper meaning. They throw out everything I gleaned from the show. The ending they filmed was something they filmed way years ago. It's something they decided they were going to do way far back. So they always planned for this to be the ending. And maybe I'm naive to think that that was the story they were going for. I mean, there were those really bad moments. Like, there's one episode where Lily and Marshall are in bed, and Lily's like, well, I guess you owe me that $10 from that Robin bet. And Marshall stares up at the ceiling. He's like, no, there's still time. And I'm like, oh God, they're going to put Robin and Ted together, aren't they? Now, they wouldn't do that, right? Throughout the show, Ted is always talking about how Robin was perfect for him. And I always kept thinking, really? I mean, the relationship in season 1 was good, but it didn't seem like it was the end-all, be-all of relationships. I mean, you were good with each other, but you weren't great. And you can't really tell me this stuff when you've been trying to sell me on Barney and Robin for seasons and seasons and seasons. To make all of this worse is they framed it all in a series finale. They spent an entire season preparing for a wedding with a bunch of throwaway episodes that weren't funny, they weren't clever, and they weren't good. It's like seeing someone making a beautiful painting, and then the artist takes a giant can of red paint and just throws it all over it, and is like, yeah, that's the art. That's what I'm making. Sure, maybe it's what they think is art, but for everyone else, you're just like, well, that ruined a lot of potential. Now, I don't want people to come off and say that I think the entire show was ruined. You can still watch the older seasons, and the jokes are still funny, the episodes are still good, and some of the messages there are still really nice. But it changes the framing of everything when you're thinking about what it leads to, what the purpose of this story is. The purpose of this story is that he wants to convince his kids that it's okay for him to date Robin. Nothing else. Maybe give you a nice little background on how he met his mother, but really he's convincing him that, guys, I had a really tough time finding another woman. I found your mother, but she's dead now. So I'm going to go bang that chick who I really like. I think she kind of wants to bang me back. I mean, guys, come on, you're going to step on Daddy's game? So, hey, thanks for watching this episode of the Cold Hard Complaints. This is one I've wanted to do for a while now since How I Met Your Mother ended. It's one of the things that kind of started me to build this channel. Was this ending satisfying to you? Is this what you wanted? Why is it what you wanted? Leave those comments down below. Like, favorite, subscribe, do all that stuff that I always tell you to do. I mean, some people do it, some people don't. I don't really care. But hey, I gotta say it. You could try. You could if you want. If you don't, whatever. But thanks for watching this episode of Cold Hard Complaints. There'll be more episodes. Watch the old episodes if you want. I mean, why not? Hey, and again, thank you for watching and have fun.